Galvarino was celebrated as a formidable warrior, partly due to the sharpened knives attached to the ends of his arms, where his hands once were. He was the Mapuche's version of William Wallace, a chieftain and warrior devoted to freeing his people from Spanish oppression in the mid-1500s. The Mapuche inhabited present-day Chile and much of Argentina during a time when the Spanish had conquered the Incas with their overwhelming forces and firepower. After subduing Peru, the Spanish turned their sights to the rest of the continent, meeting the indomitable Mapuche. From 1536 to the early 1800s, the Mapuche fiercely resisted Spanish rule in the Arauco War, a struggle that spanned over 250 years. Galvarino emerged as a renowned warrior during the early years of this conflict. He fought valiantly, but was captured alongside 150 other Mapuche warriors in the Battle of Lagunelas against Governor Garcia Hurtado de Mendoza. As punishment for their defiance, some prisoners faced the grim fate of losing a hand and a nose, while Galvarino endured the loss of both hands. Yet, he and the others were released, serving as a stark reminder to instill courage and resilience among the Mapuche people. Mendoza dispatched Galvarino to relay a message to General Capalacan, informing him of the Spanish forces in their land, aiming to intimidate him into submission without the need for battle. Not killing the warrior was a mistake the Spanish would live to regret for nearly 300 years. He showed the Council of War and Capalacan his mutilations when he returned to the Mapuche, pleading for justice and a larger Mapuche uprising against the Spanish invader similar to the one of Lautaro. The council chose him to lead a squadron because of his valor and gallantry. In the subsequent campaign, he fought alongside Capalacan with knives strapped to both of his disfigured wrists in place of his hands. This continued until the Battle of Millerapue, when his squadron engaged Governor Mendoza's own squadron, and he defeated the number 2 in command. Galvarino's final battle. Less than a month later, Galvarino fought against the Spanish again. On November 30th, 1557, around 3,000 Mapuche warriors engaged 1,500 Spanish troops in the Battle of Millerapue. The Mapuche's plan was to ambush a Spanish encampment. However, the operation did not go well, despite their numerical advantage of 2-1. The Mapuche started the ambush too early, and their attack was further hampered by long-range crossbows, steel armor, and regular Spanish patrols along the outskirts of the camp. He came commanding as a sergeant and animating his men this way. "Yea, my brothers, see that you all fight very well. You do not want me as I am without hands, so that you will not be able to work nor to eat, if you do not give it to them." And he raised those arms on high, showing them to cause them to fight with more spirit, and saying to them, "Those that you are going to fight with, cut them, and also will do to whichever of you they take, and nobody is allowed to flee but to die, because you die defending your mother country." He moved ahead of the squadron a distance, and said with a loud voice that he would die first, and though he no longer had hands, that he would do what he could with his teeth. "My brothers, why have you stopped attacking these Christians, seeing the manifest damage that from the day which they entered our kingdom until today they have done and are doing? And they still will do to you what you see that they have done, and they are doing? And still they will do to you what you see that they have done to me. Cut your hands off, if you are not diligent in making the most of wreaking destruction on these so injurious people for us, and or our children and women." While the Spanish suffered no losses at all, save for dead horses, they killed and captured the majority of the Mapuche they encountered in combat. Despite the numerical disadvantage, the Spanish cannons were just too lethal. Against the Spanish, he was never given another chance. La Araucana is an epic poem written by Alonso de Ercilla, another Spaniard. Ercilla asserted that he pleaded with Galvarino to join the Spanish in an attempt to step in on his behalf. "I would rather die than live like you, and I'm only sorry that my death will keep me from tearing you to pieces with my teeth," Galvarino allegedly replied. Galvarino was given a death sentence by Governor Mendoza. Mendoza, according to legend, threw him to the dogs rather than hanging him. According to a different legend, the warrior committed suicide in order to spare the governor from hanging the thorn in his side. Despite the unwavering warrior's death in 1557, his people survived, and the Mapuche people fought the Spanish until the 19th century. The Mapuche culture and customs endure despite their significantly reduced population today. The Mapuche people might have been wiped out if Galvarino's valiant example and the strength it offered hadn't existed.